Thanks for tuning in to Connecting Thru takes RV business on the road. Today I've stopped by Modern Trailer Sales in Anderson, Indiana, where I will be interviewing two sisters that manage and own and operate the business here, Tami and Christy. So looking forward to it. So tell me, how did you get started in the industry? Tell me a little bit about your backstory and how Modern Trailer Sales kind of got its start.
Okay. So our grandparents started the dealership in 1951. They originally bought this property to use for a mobile home court. I believe in 1947 is when they purchased the property. The thought was that there were a lot of workers moving to Anderson, Indiana for General Motors. So they set it up as a mobile home court. They started working that and then decided, due to their connections with some of the mobile home manufacturers, that they wanted to buy an RV to go to the lake and go camping and that type of thing. So to get wholesale pricing, they had to buy 3, and they did. And they sold their first one in 1951 and began from there, slowly going from a mobile home court to adding travel trailers into their mobile home court, and eventually it became more of a RV dealership than it was a mobile home court, and eventually sold those mobile homes off and became full-time RV dealers. Our parents ran the dealership for many, many years. They started in 1985, took ownership of the dealership. And then Tami started in 1996, and then I came on in 2002, and we've been working here together ever since. And since about 2015, our dad has kind of let loose of the reins a little bit, and we now run the daily operations. We love the legacy that our grandparents left for us, and as we talked about earlier, when they started it, one of the quotes from my aunt is that my grandma was the bronze and he was the brain, and she was the same way as our dad. She did a lot of physical labor to get this business up and going, not knowing what it would be 70 years later.
So due to the pandemic and everything that happened with COVID, what has been the most notable change in your dealership operation so far?
Operation-wise, it's definitely, we've struggled with getting parts, some of the shortages, that type of thing. But on the flip side of that is we have grown tremendously, in service, in parts, in sales. Every aspect of the business is growing, and it's like a phenom, and it just makes it so much. It was easier for people to travel because they were doing school from home or working from home, and so I don't think if the industry was prepared for it. I think we've done a good job adapting and trying to make sure that we're still focusing on how Modern Trailer Sales operates and making sure the customer service is there, and taking care of our new customers, our long-term customers. Our staff has done a phenomenal job trying to do everything they can to get parts.
Do you think that this trend of new RVers that are coming in on board, I'm one of them,
yep.
right?
Yep.
There's plenty of them out there.
Yep.
Do you see that trend continuing, or are you anticipating that there's going to be a slowdown at some point in terms of sales? And
I think that the trend will continue.
How has the internet changed the way that you promote your dealership?
The internet has, obviously we've been doing it for a while. Most of our advertising, I would say 80% of our advertising is done via the internet. We do a small portion of radio still, but not a lot of print. But we do a lot of social media advertising, Facebook, Instagram, a lot of Google ads. So that is a huge chunk, obviously, of how we advertise. But I think probably the biggest way it's changed our industry is the majority of people have already done their homework and they know what they want when they come in, and there's even sometimes specific brands, but they've already done a lot of comparing themselves. So I think that's probably the biggest way it's changed. And then of course the communication. There's a lot of communication that is able to happen before the customer ever walks in the door to build a rapport and kind of narrow down what they might want to buy.
Concerning your rolling stock, is your current inventory at a level you would like, or is it higher or lower than you would expect?
It's definitely not where we would like our inventory to be, and I think it's just one of those things that, you know, we've become accepting of it to some degree. I mean, there are some times where we're pushing some of our manufacturers. Can I get 10 this week? Can I get 12? You know, what can I get? But you know, we know that, you know, the nation has never dealt with something like this. It's the first time where the entire nation is needing the product, and so we're trying to adapt to that, and making sure that we can get as much as we can when we can, and just really have really good relationships with our manufacturers. And you know, they've done a pretty good job helping us out when we need help and getting us what we need when we have to have it. Yeah.
So, Modern Trailer Sales is a member of Priority RV Network. Can you tell me a little more about that and the benefits that your dealership, what that means?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Priority RV Network, the hugest benefit that we see is there's, I believe, right around 150 locations. And if our customer is traveling and they have an emergency that needs to be addressed, let's say while they're traveling in New Mexico, they can go to a New Mexico Priority RV dealer and get first in line, get treated just as if they were a customer of that dealership. So to me, that is the biggest selling point, is the service factor. Since we're one location, this allows our customers to be taken care of in any state that they're in. Might not always be close to their location, but at least we have an option of how we can help them. And then there's also, you know, just the ability to connect with other dealers, you know, and basically have other dealers to talk to and, you know, kind of share this RV lifestyle with. That's a huge resource to that. And there are, you know, some discounts and things that we get when working with other priority suppliers and things of that nature.
Do you put your inventory up online? Do you think that you have an increase in sales because of that? Or is it a lot of times people coming in off the streets to just come see them?
No, most people know why, the majority know what they're coming here to see. Every piece is online. We do put inventory, you know, we do an inventory feed every night. We take pictures of new units as soon as they come in, used units as soon as they get cleaned up. We get, if needed. But yeah, we're posting new pictures and inventory daily.
Do you think that 2021 will be the best year ever as an RV dealer? And what does that mean to your staff, the dealership as a whole, everyone?
I think it can be. I think it can be the best year ever. I mean, we're already ahead of 2020 in sales and service and parts. I think it is, you know, at this level, yes, it's going to be the best year ever. The only thing that would hold us back would be the availability for inventory and parts. But I have faith that the manufacturers are long-standing relationships, that we're going to get what we need to keep continuing this success. And, you know, in general, I think the morale around here is good. You know, our employees, you know, they're pretty pumped up about everything that's going on and about, you know, being secure in their jobs, and the dealership, that, you know, it feels pretty good around here in regards to being the best year. Plus it's our 70th anniversary.
Great. Tell me a little more about that. What are you doing to celebrate?
I was like, dude. So our biggest thing to celebrate, we have we haven't even talked about this yet, but we have a marketing theme going on too that is relatable to 50s TV shows. So I think it changes up every 2 months, but like it's Father Knows Best. We did Modern Knows Best. So we did, you know, Are You Sick of Living in the Twilight Zone with Other Dealers? You know, come visit Modern. It's a Wonderful Life. We did that, kind of a little spoof off that, you know, in
Happy
RV
Days.
Life. Happy Days. So we have t-shirts and everything in the parts store that kind of match all that we give to all of our customers. But we did a little fun branding campaign with that. And then probably the coolest thing that we're doing is our celebration of 70 years every Sunday on our Facebook page. We post pictures and tell a little story about, you know, what that picture goes to. And that includes quotes from our aunts and uncles that grew up at this property as our grandparents were developing this business. And we'll continue with that. We've shared some old pictures of employees and just some fun things that have happened here throughout the years. So we're kind of keeping it chronological as we go through this year. So every Sunday there'll be a fun post.